I didn't know how to tell Michelle that I think I've completely ruined our financial future.
Oh my God.
So I didn't. I went inside, kissed her hello, went straight upstairs, pulled an all-nighter, and had a full Jerry Maguire moment, like when he wrote his manifesto about like how he was going to do it. I did the same thing for our gyms, and tomorrow morning when we woke up, like it started what effectively became how I developed this formula to effectively triple our business.
Well, hello and welcome back to the Amanda Kaufman Show. And we're continuing our conversation on coaches that don't suck. And we have another coach who does not suck, Doza. Thank you so much, Doza, for joining me. Doza, Andrew Handosa, known as Doza, is a seasoned entrepreneur, business coach, and email marketing expert dedicated to transforming how studio owners and entrepreneurs approach growth. And growth is one of my super favorite subjects, so I can't wait to get into that. As the CEO and founder of the Geronimo Academy, he specializes in helping clients build profitable businesses that align with their lifestyle. Yes, please. Eliminating overwhelm and burnout. And with over a decade of experience in launching and scaling multi-million-dollar ventures, Andrew has developed a unique, no-nonsense approach that combines for coaching and others to create fulfilling impact-driven businesses. And through Geronimo Unfiltered podcast and his Stop Doing It the Hard Way Club, I love that so much, Andrew delivers unfiltered insights empowering business owners to take control, gain financial freedom, and achieve sustainable growth. His approach is grounded in authenticity, community building, and living a life by design. So basically, we are new best friends. I'm really excited to have you here, Doza. Welcome to the show.
Thanks, Maya. Thanks for having me.
Yeah. So, okay, I'm so curious. You have a lot of clarity about your message, about being unfiltered, about just even the name of what you do, Geronimo. It really inspires a lot of energy and enthusiasm. Like, just take 30 seconds and help us understand. Like, that is your take. Why so? Why do you believe so?
I think, especially in this world of coaching and the internet, it's so easy to be, I guess, bombarded by conflicting messages and to get confused. Take 5 seconds on Instagram or any social media platform of your choice. And now we've got AI, right? Like it is so, as young business owners, it is so easy to get confused and overwhelmed in terms of like what next step to take.
Mm-hmm.
I went down that path and thought that I needed to be like everyone else and on, social media and like did the hook, did the mess, did all that kind of stuff. And ultimately, I didn't feel like it was me. I'm like in life, I am a full throttle guy. I am full contact, zero filters. And in my industry of the health and fitness industry, it's kind of synonymous with a lot of filters.
On every level, right? From a visual filter on the Instagram to like withholding on all of the details of what it really takes to create. You referred to yourself as a full content kind of guy. Like, what does that mean? Like in your day-to-day life?
Means like I'm a big dude and like when I'm on my coaching calls with my clients, I am, they call me Spicy Doza because I just want these guys to win so much that I will probably step over the boundary of like what is proper, what might be professional.
How dare.
I will literally like I got size 13 shoes. So I was like, I'll literally size 13 these guys and they love it. Like the unfiltered approach in the industry that I'm in and to cut through all the bullshit, to cut through all the guru advice for people that have never done it before. I call them like the virgin sex therapists. And there's
I'm sorry, my brain just caught up with that. That's so funny.
We said we had a clean audience. No, love you guys. Big heart, big love. Get in here, big bear hug, but also like I told you to do this and you haven't done it yet. So that sort of vibe. And
that truth telling is so so palatable and so powerful. One of the things that I really struggled with in the first few years of coaching was people pleasing. And my mentor was
Well,
like, "Hey, they pay you to push." And I was like, "Really?" And it's like, "Yeah."
well,
And when
yeah.
I allowed myself to challenge the paradigms, challenge the thinking, challenge the accountability in my way,
In your way.
but still do it, it absolutely transformed not just my business, but also my own experience of my business and the results of my clients. Like, it's so
Well,
powerful to do that.
let me ask you this: who else is doing it in their life?
Can you repeat the
You know,
question? Who else
who
is?
who who else is doing that in their life? This is what I continually kind of reinforce with my team of coaches. It's guys, if like they're in here because they obviously need us, right? And we're here to sort of show them the hope and yes, the belief and yes, all that. And we've got all the content. We've got an amazing academy. We've got all the curriculum and stuff like that. But ultimately, what we know there's three different levels of coaching that we've sort of stumbled upon. There's the tool sets, which is the templates and the checklists and the bits that everyone froths about. But then it's the skill sets and it's the skills to be able to use that tool sets. But ultimately, it's the mindset. And that part of that mindset piece is really around holding them to a standard of who they need to become, because they told us that they wanted to, so that they can develop the skill set to then use the tools properly.
So I'm getting a great visual in my mind of a
Mm,
pyramid or something that's describing that, and I see a lot in our space of coaching and influence. It's all mindset. It's 100% mindset. But I completely agree with you that it's a mindset that allows you to activate into the skill set, into leveraging the tool set, and that makes so much sense. As you were coming up, like what brought you to coaching? Why do this?
mate, I didn't want to be a coach. I did.
Perfect. You're probably great.
I'm almost like the anti-coach, and not as in I'm anti to coaches, because like I love, and one thing I always say to people who maybe in a bit of the objection handling training with my sales team is, do you think LeBron doesn't have a coach? Like, do you think Rafael Nadal doesn't have? Like, obviously we're not talking about should people have coaches or not. They just either don't believe in you or they don't believe in themselves. So coaching, big fan of. I probably so I'll go right back. I'm a practitioner. So like the thing I coach about, I did. And I feel, and like already I feel like in this industry of coaching, the wider industry, and I think some of your audience might be like nodding their head and yelling at the radio right now. Like there's this kind of split in the market of people who have actually done the thing and now they want to like coach people on it or mentor people on it or advise people on it. And then those that have kind of, and controversially, might have just, become a coach and have picked a niche.
So true. I often tell people, I'm a business coach. I've also been in business for like 18 years. So I
Yeah,
love business. I breathe it, right? And the thing I'm often telling and reminding my clients is like, hey, coaching is a really low barrier to entry, very high barrier to success place to play
correct.
because people
And
can smell it. Like if you're shoveling something, people can smell it and like they know that you're full of it and that you're just kind of reciting some kind of a script, which isn't so bad to have a script, but it's not if it's not coming from a place of truth, if it's not coming from a place of authenticity, people smell it a mile away and you get rewarded accordingly in the market.
I completely agree, mate. So how kind of I accidentally became a coach, and I'm not even, if there's a certification, I don't have it, right? Whatever the certification is like the receipts of what I've done, and that is ultimately why people do come to us. So we've built, we obviously help studio owners, gym owners, yoga, Pilates, mixed martial arts, all that, all those people that are in the wider health and fitness industry. We're on a quest to kind of impact through those people, over 1 million people. And
That's cool.
I know what it's done for me. I kind of went into gyms. I was like, my background is in corporate marketing, brand, a bit of sales, technology, that kind of stuff. My business partner, his background was in like corporate finance, banking, and all that sort of stuff. At some point, we got together and went like, I kind of want to get a bit more out of life. Like I can't be stuffed shoveling more dog food, and he just didn't love the banks. It was like sucking his soul. I had a bit of a heart complication one day,
Mm.
and I came out of that and then just had this thing about like, okay, I definitely want to get a bit more out of life. So I
Mm.
wanted to do more helping stuff rather than, again, selling more dog food or chocolates. So my business partner and I decided to open a gym. Now we're two guys that had no business having a gym. When we came home and told our wives that we've just bought a gym, they went, "You guys are idiots." And they're not wrong.
Well, you have to start somewhere, right?
I know.
Like that's
Yeah.
actually
But
something I
why a
really
gym?
want
We
to
had
ask you about.
zero qualifications. Okay. So anyway,
Mhm.
2014, we opened our first gym. If there was a mistake to be made, Amanda, we made it. Okay. If there was a wrong decision, we made it. And things got worse before it got any better until this one day I had this full Jerry Maguire moment. I remember and it was proper movie scene, storm, rain, howling winds. I'm out on my driveway of a house that we just purchased, $1 million mortgage, and I've got a pregnant wife inside, and we were broke. And I didn't know how to tell Michelle that I think I've completely ruined our financial future.
Oh my God.
So I didn't. I went inside, kissed her hello, went straight upstairs, pulled an all-nighter, and had a full Jerry Maguire moment, like when he wrote his manifesto about like how he was going to do it. I did the same thing for our gyms, and tomorrow morning when we woke up, the storm had passed, the birds were chirping again, the sun was, the blue skies were back. Like it started what effectively became how I developed this formula to effectively triple our business in
Wow.
record time. We got a whole bunch of awards for it. And then we did it again with the second studio that we took over and did it again for that one. And so along the way, people went, "Doza, how are you doing this?" And I just started to my natural instinct was to teach people how to do it. I guess that's how I became a coach. Like it started with one person up the road that I kind of knew from a different world, and then went to two, and then through COVID, through all the lockdowns where gyms in our country got like shut down and we had to go online.
Mhm.
I posted something in an internal Facebook group of the network that I was part of, and just wanted to help people. And 200 customers turned up next day, knocking on my front door, going, "Doza, can you help?" And
That's
I went,
outstanding.
and I went,
That
"Yeah,
that story really tells about that discovery of that alignment. It
mm,
talks about that discovery of like this is the kind of service that it requires. One thing I really wanted to ask you about is the survival of that beginner season. Because
mm,
you're right. I think in this space there's the kind of clunky find that niche statement, kind of not really doing the work that matters. And then there's like people that are showing up as pros, right? Like,
yeah,
and they're professionally of service to other people. I've noticed that, because I do help a lot of people that are transitioning or pivoting from another career into entrepreneurship and coaching. So they do have
yeah,
like high competence, high intelligence.
yeah,
It's just that they've never done this before. And so can you talk to me a little bit about surviving that beginner season?
yeah."
Like you mentioned that you made so many mistakes, but you clearly turned that into an alchemy of turning it into gold. Like all these mistakes informed your process. So can you talk to me a little bit about that, like surviving that season?
I call those moments. If I look back on our journey, my journey, and think about those moments that delivered not just incremental growth, but like transformational growth, I can quite distinctively link it back to a series of defining moments. Now, I've got a bit of a formula for it. So you get smacked in the face along the journey of being an entrepreneur.
Which will happen. That is absolutely guaranteed for anybody who's
Guaranteed.
just starting out.
Guaranteed. And if you don't want to, and if you don't like the idea of that, like with all love, get a job. And if you think it doesn't happen over there either, like you
I
better
was
not.
gonna
But
say you're
anyway,
still gonna get smacked around
yeah,
with a
yeah.
with a job.
Unless you're in
So
more
I
control
mean,
within your own business. Anyway, I've got a whole thing about that. But when stuff happens, and when that moment happens, and there's been multiple times where that's happened to us, you've got three choices. You can either retreat, you can do nothing, blame everything else, and become the victim, or you decide, what if? What if this was the best thing that happened for me? So just nuanced language there. What if this is happening for me, not to me? What would I need to do to turn this into a defining moment? And then literally write it all down and then take massive action. It's been our things. Like we've always turned fit situations around into defining moments because we've always chosen defining moments. We've always chosen massive action. Now I'll go a bit further on that. When you're at the start, to all your listeners, if you're at the start, you've got a good heart, you've got a good product, you can genuinely help people. The single biggest tactical thing that I believe you should be focusing on, is product market fit, making sales. I was constantly, Amanda, like Geronimo Academy.
I knew we were going to be besties.
Yeah,
it's true.
Geronimo Academy started off as a content. I used to be a photographer and a videographer back in the day, so I had a spare camera that I used to use for weddings. It started off, my very first invoice was $200, and it was to do a video of someone's studio. So from that, they went, what else do you know? And I went, what else are you struggling with?
That's the question.
Oh, my team's, or like they're not really planned out. It's like, okay, cool. So I go back into my files in my head, my files of like my previous life in the corporate world, and the company that I was a director of before this was an agency, and through that they put me through this training called Rockefeller Habits, this scaling up with Vern Harnish. So they put me through that, and I was like, I knew this was going to come in handy one day. So I looked at my phone of all the screenshots that I took of all the training that I was doing, and I basically applied it to their studio. And they paid me a little bit more money to do some 90-day planning with them. And I used to meet them at a breakfast cafe, and we would do these meetings. And like, what else do you do? I was like, do you run Facebook ads? I was like, yeah, of course I do. Quickly learn how to run Facebook ads. And then I just product market fit. And then now we've got the number one, studio accelerator in Australia and New Zealand.
He says so casually. I love the story so much because there's so much rhetoric. There's so much baloney content out there that suggests that you have to have so many different prerequisites to helping other people.
Make sales.
That's it. I just before this, I was sitting down with I have a little mastermind, and we were talking about the nature of learning and how so many times people get swept up in learning, but they think that they're learning. They're not really learning. They're simply consuming. And that, the number one thing that I was offering the folks at the mastermind is I'm like, make sure you're inviting people to connect and to talk and to share and find out what they're working on. Find out if you can help. Find out if you can make a connection. I'm even thinking about how these podcasts that I've been doing has come about. It's simply by just asking, what are you working on? How can I help? Right? It's just the fundamental of business.
Yeah, that's it. When you're at the start, you don't need to get swept up in, and I'm a vision guy, big vision, values, culture. I'm big on that because I've got a team out, right? But you don't need to spend 4 weeks mental masturbation around what your vision might be or what your purpose is and what you might like. Just what is the thing that you think you can help people with? Who needs it? Set yourself up on Stripe. Get yourself a bank account. Get some Stripe links. I love Stripe links. I'm super tactical as well, Amanda. I can go up here, I can go down here. Stripe links are the bomb. Friend of ours.
It's just easy. Just set it up.
Mr. Dan Martel. Yeah, you just look at your phone and it takes your money. It's the best thing ever.
Literally, that is true. Yeah.
Don't worry about charging like a wounded bull at the start either. And I know some other people will tell you as well, maybe just do some stuff for free to get some case studies out of it and then snowball it. That's fine if that's for you. I've never done anything for free. I just hadn't needed to, right? Because I've always been decent at selling, only because back to I'm big heart. People kind of, feel like this guy, he would just find a way to make this thing work. I think they've just kind of believe in the energy. And I also choose my audience. I choose, people that I think I can genuinely help. I'm not going to walk up to the dentist up the road here and go, I think I can help you grow your practice. I probably could, but not my bullseye just yet.
Yeah. I love this. And I think something that I'm thinking about from my own journey was I really wasn't Geronimo. I really wasn't this big gregarious kind of personality, and I still figured it out. And I love the contrast here because I think what is common that we both have is this authenticity and desire to help other people. And, listener, please listen to that. You have a way that you connect with people. You have your favorite people. I wouldn't go to gym people because that's not necessarily my people. But I love what I do with whom I do it and the circles that I run in, and I serve in that circle. And if you find yourself in a circle that's like really low energy, doesn't want your help, it's all negative, that's a mess you've got to clean up.
Yeah. Yeah. And, I really think about, the role of business is to, well, the role of entrepreneurship, you're an entrepreneur if you can solve problems and make a profit, like solve problems at a profit. So I think there's a lot of great to be had around being part of circles and masterminds and things like that, but only if you execute and implement and then apply that to what you're doing that day, tomorrow, the day after, and generate sales. Like right at the start, you have a money problem at the bottom. We've talked about that. We've got this thing called the 3 levels of growth or 3 levels of business. And right at the bottom, it is you have a money problem. Now, eventually when you get past it, and to solve the money problem, to get to the second level, which is like a time problem, the money problem is about how you generate leads, how you make sales, how you kind of tweak your product market fit, how you track that to actually know what's working, what's not working. And then effectively you've solved your money problems. Congratulations, you've solved your money problems. Then you're going to get other problems after that.
Yeah, exactly. Every level, there's I think it was Grant Cardone wrote the book, The 10X Rule, and it was the first time that I really heard the lesson that you're always going to have problems. So why not play for bigger ones? Like have bigger problems that are more appealing than the same old dumb problems that you hate.
I know. Yeah. And I think some of it is like, this might resonate with your listeners. I think, the problem is that you think you shouldn't have problems.
Whew.
And so
the problem is you think you shouldn't have problems. I love that.
Just like accept it, and it gets bigger. It gets bigger at every new level. Like they're bigger problems, and I think that's where you start. Once you've solved the money problems, right? Then it gets deeper within you, like what it is that you're trying to solve. Like there's a lot of people that I've helped scale out of their business. I've scaled out of 2 businesses. And I can see how it would be very easy if you didn't have a driving purpose eventually. You don't need it at the start, but eventually along the way, you'll sort of synthesize as you learn about yourself, because I do believe business is one of the most powerful like personal development instruments. Eventually, you'll find what it is that you are driving for. Without that, it is very easy to like lose a bit of yourself towards the top, whatever your top may be, or when you kind of exit. It's quite common to see people just go. And the biggest anticlimax of that is like, so you gutted it out for 10 years to eventually like do the thing, exit, and now you've kind of depressed. So that's not to scare anyone. That's just to go at the start. I think all you really need to focus on is making sales, finding customers, doing a great job, and then building some momentum. Along the way, to sort of carry that journey with you, is really about a lot of self-reflection, being more self-aware, and finding out what it is that you are really driving for in life. What truly matters to you as a person, and then how can you apply all these amazing skills that you can't read about? You can read as many books as you want, right? But like ultimately, it's just being in it and developing the character set that you need to.
Oh my gosh. Doza, I could seriously sit here for a 3-hour episode, but I only booked you for a short one. So we might just have to do this again sometime. But how can people follow you? Because you're soundbite after soundbite. Instagram.
Hey.Doza. Hey.Doza. Come and say hello. Hey.Doza. HEY.DOZA.
I love it. And listener, do us a favor. Go ahead and share this gem of an episode with 3 of your friends who are building their business and they want to get to it and they want to just jump in. Geronimo. And go ahead and do us a favor. Make sure that you subscribe so that you don't miss the next episode, and leave us a 5-star review, because it helps people find episodes like this that can really help them in their journey. Thanks so much for joining me. We'll see you next time.